Nissan Bulavanaka, how's it going? Well, the dreaded flip chart is back. I actually just wanted to share two stories with you this evening. First is a good one. I met a friend of mine today who, since my trading workshop, has finally gotten into the habit of making regular offers, and at the moment he's got one deal he's already bought, but two real crackers on the go. And he said it was just through starting to get in the habit of making offers, and so it's just encouraging when people do. You do the simple stuff, you do it over and over again, and it works. And speaking of the trading workshop, we've just announced tonight. Some of you would have already got an email. Those of you who have attended before, it's just up on the website. We're coming to Wellington on the 9th of June. We're going to run the workshop down there. There's an early bird special up on the website at the moment. If you've been before, you will have received an email with a even more special, early bird special. And we'll have a few different speakers. I've revamped some stuff, so if you've been before, it'll be cool. If you haven't, many people have emailed and said it's the best event that they've ever attended, the best property event. I'll spend the whole day teaching you everything that I know about trading, and encourage you to come. We'd love to see you there. 9th of June, it'll be a very long day. Auckland just totally went off, and so hope you can come. People are telling me that Wellingtonians and people down the bottom end of the North Island are not good at attending events, so I'm hoping to put that to rest by proving them wrong, and we'll be coming to Christchurch shortly as well. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about was just something I'm really angry about, actually, and I've mentioned before, but whenever I see a living example of it, so gets me wild. Raymond and I have some friends who are in the Pacific Island community, and we're just working with them to help them get back on track with their finances. And like many people, particularly in the Pacific Island arena, they've never had the education that we've had and never been taught how to look at money differently. And so I just wanted to talk to you through this loan document that we cited this evening. So these people went and borrowed $5,000, right? That was the loan, and they were told, there were a few things that they didn't really check, but they were told that the interest rate was 39.5%, and they were borrowing the money over 18 months. And so they signed up at that. Now that's a lot of money. So if that was $1,000, would be $395. Let's call it 400 times 5. So they were going to pay nearly $7,000 in total back. Right? They're going to pay $2,000 in interest. Is that right? Yeah. Sorry. In the first year, over 12 months, and then in theory they'd pay another $1,000 in the second year, so it could be $8,000, which is still, ridiculous. It would be less than that because of the principal reducing. But the point is, they were just told $5,000 loan, no problem, 18 months, 39.5%. These are your payments. They signed up to it. We're trying to help them sort out their situation because, sadly, like many Pacific Island families, they don't have one of these; they have 5. So here's what we get our hands on the loan document this afternoon, and the actual facts are this: they borrowed loan. When you look at the loan document, it says principal forwarded or whatever. Loan $5,000. Loan. Then there were 4 other fees that were charged that were a total of $1,600 fees. Then it had a thing called a finance charge, $2,900. Finance charge. Right? And then, so the total is 9,500, of which they have seen 5, and then they're paying interest on that amount of money. That's the actual interest that they're paying. So what they actually paid over 18 months was $11,500, which is an actual, the total amount on top of the principal borrowed was 130%. And if you break that down to an annual figure, it's about 87% interest. They had 5 of these, and they said in the Samoan community, everybody would have at least one of these as a rule, cars or all kinds of things. So this is criminal. These guys that run these loan shark companies should be lined up against a wall and shot. And I don't buy the argument that they're providing a service to people who can't get it anywhere else. There is no excuse for this $3,000 finance charge. It's a pile of, can't use the words in public. I just cannot believe that people will treat other people like that. So I want to tell everybody about this because I'd love to somehow get these guys out of business. And when I was thinking about that, one thing that came to mind was this, other than me talking about it and literally shooting everybody I see outside every loan shark company, is there are many of you watching this, and many of you who come and hear me speak at different events, who come up to me afterwards and say, oh, I love what you're doing, and we want to help the Pacific Island people, or the Maori people, or whoever it might be. So here's an opportunity here. You think about what these people are actually paying. Now, many of you may have $5,000 or $50,000 that you could borrow at 8, 9, 10% on floating. So for those of you who do have some contact with the Pacific Island community, you could put these guys out of business. You could lend this money to them at, say, a genuine 20% interest per annum, let's say. So if you did that, so in this case, you draw down your $5,000 at 9.5%. If you lend it at 20, that would be $1,000, and it was over 18 months, it would be $1,500. So they give you back $6,500. Now that they will probably do. I mean, as it happens, these people are actually paying this, but this would help them get ahead. And if you did that also, you'd have the opportunity to find out what was going on in their lives. And you might be able to help them if that is your bent. And you might also find that you'll have other people queuing up who are normally running to these loan sharks who would come for your help. So you could be getting a genuine 20% return on money that you're borrowing at 9.5 or 10, beats working, and really be helping a part of our community. I know that in Porirua, people follow this, in Auckland, I'm sure in many small towns, I go through Otahu and other areas of Auckland that have Decile 1 schools. There's like 15 loan shops. I remember seeing something on television a year or so ago about one of the ones that started. The guy, he borrowed $300,000 to start a money shop type in business. They ran out of money in 3 days. That's how big this business is. So understand this. I'm of the opinion that this is criminal, particularly because it is targeting people who cannot help themselves and who cannot afford to be ripped off like this. It's like literally stealing, milk from babies, in my opinion. These people will never get a hand up. They are being stroked and ripped off. And we could do something about it. I'm going to start looking with my wife at how could we do this in New Zealand. We're already heavily involved in supporting work in Fiji, as you know. But let's see these people put out of business. I guarantee you go anywhere where there is a Pacific Island or a significant Maori population in your town, and you'll find people paying 130% back on money. And the other thing, of course, that I haven't even mentioned is that usually this will be secured against a car. So they bought a car worth $3,000, bought it for $5,000, paying back $11.5. And many of these loan companies have an arrangement that if the loans default, they repossess the car, they continue through the courts, and usually these people will find the money because they go to extended Pacific Island family to get it. And they have an arrangement with the loan company, with the vehicle dealership, that they get the car back, and they do it over and over and over again. So there you go, there's a bit of a rant for a change this evening about loan sharks and unreasonable finance companies. Good reminder for you to make sure you understand how finance works. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that everybody in every company who is doing this should really be wearing concrete shoes and taking a long walk off a short pier. Sorry if I sound a bit harsh, but it just annoys me to see people taken advantage of. Hope to see you at the workshop June the 9th in Wellington. We will be coming to Christchurch as well, and looking forward to meeting many of you again, and some of you new. If you want to get some really cutting edge strategies and do what I do, it'll be worth you coming. It's my favourite story, but one of the attendees who came made $404,000 the next week out of one deal by utilising some of the things that they'd learnt at the workshop and being more confident about trading property. So would it be worth you spending a little over $1,000 to come and learn how to make 400 grand in a week? I think so. See you soon.